It's time for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather, sponsored by Command Family Medicine and John's Heating and Air. Here's your host, meteorologist Abby Dyer.
Good morning, everyone. Happy New Year, and welcome to the first podcast of 2025 for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather. Thank you for being here. It's kind of an exciting start to the year. If you are a winter weather lover, I know you've heard the rumblings of winter weather arriving in the Ozarks this weekend, and I'm just going to address the elephant in the room. That's what we're going to start off talking about. There is a lot to watch as we head closer to the weekend forecast. Today, pretty nice in comparison. I mean, seasonably cool, but a dry day ahead for us. I have cloud cover in the forecast and numbers that look pretty comfortable as we head through most of the day today. All eyes on the weekend, though, so that's where we're going to keep our focus. And I want to talk about the probability of having a winter storm. And I think it's looking more and more likely that we will definitely see some winter weather in the Ozarks this weekend. Much like it always happens in the Ozarks, this is likely to be a mixed bag of precipitation. By that, I mean some cold rain, some freezing rain, some sleet, and even some snowfall. Higher snowfall totals expected in the far northern Ozarks, northeastern Ozarks. And then as you head south, get closer to that I-44 corridor and down into the Arkansas Ozarks, well, that's where we talk about the freezing rain, the sleet mixing in, probably cutting into the snowfall totals here, but still may make just for a slick mess across the region. So yes, I'm watching it closely, and I will be fine-tuning these details as the weekend draws a little bit more near. Chances, though, of having some impactful winter weather this weekend look very likely. Probability for the Springfield area now more than 60%, more than 70% up in central Missouri. So odds increasing that we will have some sort of winter weather, and it's a powerful storm system that's going to be moving through much of the Midwest. I can tell you that. Today, we are talking about mostly cloudy skies with highs in the mid to upper 40s. It is going to be a chilly day, but I mean, not too bad. Highs in the 40s. It's been worse. There's a frontal boundary near the area. In fact, maybe some raindrops squeezed out up in central Missouri. I think we stay precip free here in the Ozarks today, but because of the front in the area, we will have some cloud cover today. I expect a mostly cloudy sky through the course of the day, and a high temperature for us here in Springfield should make it to about 47 degrees. Factor in the wind, it'll feel more like the low 40s. No precip in the forecast, though, today, tomorrow, or during the day on Saturday. It's late Saturday night that we have to start watching for our next round of storms. By then, we're going to have cold air in place, and that's where the winter weather concern becomes a big factor for us, as mixed precipitation is likely to fall starting late Saturday night into Sunday morning. The big question mark here is how much of that falls as a cold rain or freezing rain or sleet before it changes over into snowfall as temperatures drop on Sunday. That's the big question, and one that I can't answer for you yet because we're still several days out. I think that the snow, where it falls, will be plowable in some places. So we're talking mainly northern Ozarks. Right now, I'm thinking that would be north of Highway 60, but definitely possible along the Highway 60 corridor. And this is all going to depend on the exact track of the low pressure system that will bring the winter weather to the Ozarks. So at this point, we are 4 days out from this storm system that will be impacting us. And yes, the forecast is calling for winter weather. You can start preparing now. And by that, I mean, just have some emergency supplies on hand. Make sure you're stocked. If you ran out of salt from the snowfall that we had in 2024, well, just replenish that. Go ahead, get it done. Make sure you have your shovel. Make sure your car is equipped for some of those winter items should this really pan out and be an impactful event for us. Also, take the time to do things like check your smoke and carbon monoxide detectors and replenish your fuel and heating sources for your home. And of course, make sure all of that is ship shape. Also know that as we get a little bit closer to this, I think travel will be impacted on Sunday and definitely on Monday morning too. So if you're thinking ahead or if you have travel planned, you might want to make some different arrangements or at least have a backup plan in place if you had travel going on for Sunday or Monday, not only in the Ozarks, but really across the state of Missouri and much of the Midwest, because this is going to be a major storm system. And by that, I mean, it will be expansive. it goes several states expecting some of the winter weather here. As we head into the later parts of the week, we get into Friday. We're going to be talking more about the totals that I'm expecting with this. I think at this point, though, you can prepare for some winter weather and snowfall that will likely accumulate. We are going to have the cold temperatures in place, as I mentioned. Today, actually, the warmest of the extended forecast. Cooler weather builds in tomorrow. Highs tomorrow drop to the upper 30s and low 40s. By the time we get to Saturday, we're talking highs once again in the 30s to 40s, and then we get really cold. Numbers fall to the teens on Sunday morning. We may not warm that much on Sunday. That's also a question mark, and that's what we have to track, that exact position of the low pressure. By the way, that storm system just now going to be moving from the Pacific inland. We'll be able to get more weather balloons up into that storm structure and get some better data to integrate into the weather models. So the forecast becomes much more fine-tuned as the storm gets a little bit closer. We just get better sampling on that storm system. Then numbers drop. I can tell you that. That's what models all agree on. They're all over the place on snowfall totals, ice totals, things like that. But what they definitely agree on is extreme cold setting in for the Ozarks Monday and Tuesday. Abnormally cold temperatures are on the way for next week with wind chills below zero. So keep that in mind. Think about the winter gear. If the kids are growing out of their gloves, you might want to find a new pair. Make sure you go have all the proper gear that you need and plan to stay indoors and bring the pets indoors as well. The Climate Prediction Center definitely agrees with this forecast trend that I'm seeing in the models. They are showing well below normal temperatures. We're talking 15 to 25 degrees below normal for that first week of January, the 6th through the 12th. More details are going to be forthcoming as that storm gets a little bit closer. Right now, confidence increasing that we will see some winter weather in the Ozarks. Looks like our northern counties will be most impacted, but a widespread portion in the Ozarks could see some ice, some sleet, as well as some accumulating snowfall. So stay tuned for that. Around the country, there's also active weather happening with the down lake effect snow from the Great Lakes region. Also, periods of locally and heavy coastal rains for higher elevations continue for much of the northwestern United States. And then, of course, frigid winter temperatures are going to be making their way from the northern plains to the Midwest. That process going to hit here as we head closer to the weekend. So prepare and brace for the cold that is going to be coming our way. All right, it's time for the Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather Brain Twister Trivia question. The question that I left you with on, what day was that? Tuesday. Yes. How large is the Times Square New Year's Eve ball in diameter? Did you watch the ball drop from Times Square on New Year's Eve? Do you think it was 4 feet in diameter, 6 feet, 12 feet, or 24 feet? Well, it's huge, but it is 12 feet in diameter. The rapper Pitbull helped to unveil the Times Square iconic New Year's Eve ball on Friday. Last Friday, that is. It is a Waterford crystal ball, a sphere covered with 2,688 crystal triangles, and it measures 12 feet in diameter. It weighs almost 12,000 pounds and has more than 32,000 LED lights. It is pretty impressive, and it drew a large crowd in NYC. But did you see the thunderstorms and that video of the lightning striking the Empire State Building on New Year's Eve? Kind of crazy. A lot of people were cold and wet for that celebration. All right, here's the question that I'll leave you with for tomorrow. Immigrants from what country introduced the New Year baby to the United States? Do you think that was A, Germany, B, Italy, C, Ireland, or D, Spain? You can let me know your guess. That's at aroundtheozarks.com. Thank you so much for listening to Around the Ozarks this morning. I hope I was able to detail that winter storm for you, put it into a bit of a better picture, what we're going to be dealing with by the time we get to late Saturday night into Sunday. I'll be tracking it. I'll have another detailed update for you early tomorrow. In the meantime, you can check the website for any updates to that winter storm heading our direction for the weekend. Thanks so much to Command Family Medicine and John's Heating and Air. You're going to need that heater as we head into the next week. I'll chat with you again early.